Like, you got to play... Which game?
I played some Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh,
early.
shit.
Androgynous.
I got about...
Androgynous.
Mass Effect Androgynous. You know, that's actually kind of fitting given how some of those characters look.
Yeah. Oh, man, I've heard the humans look bad.
It's not that they look bad. Everything in the game is fucking beautiful. It's just... I mean, like, the first planet I'm playing on PC because I wanted to see what it really looked like. I cranked everything as high as it would go, and it's fucking amazing. Like, it just looks really good. But then as soon as somebody starts talking, it's like, it's like, you know how when they get a Muppet talking really good, and like their head go back and forth, and they're just flapping their mouth. That's kind of what it's like. That's kind of what the talking is like.
Welcome to Mass
I saw a
Effect.
meme that was,
Hey, come on down to Andromeda, Pathfinder.
I found the models for the face or the lip syncing or whatever. It was just a goldfish.
If you are aware of it ahead of time and you
Prepare yourself
mentally for it, it's really not that bad. I mean, it looks stupid,
Welcome to Mass Effect.
but it won't take you out of it unless you are very specific about those sort of
That
things.
planet just blew up, and the letter of the day is...
Blah, 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 blah.
So yeah, some of that does look pretty goofy. I'm still kind of expecting a good game and engaging story.
Well, the thing is, your microphone is... There you go.
Yeah, it's because I'm shaking my leg.
I'm
I'm shaking my leg.
So,
Got to shake that leg.
the combat is really fun so far. That's the main thing. I mean,
dance.
they just have been trying to improve the combat, and you've got upward mobility, and you've also got a side-to-side dodge on 2 different buttons, so you can jump back up and then dodge. Every class that you use has a different type of dodge. So, like, if you primarily put your points into biotics, then when you dodge, you'll do kind of a biotic charge type thing. If you're an infiltrator and you put a lot of points in infiltrator stuff, then you'll stealth for a second when you dodge and things like that. So everything's sort of built around whatever mode you're in, which is fun. But it doesn't matter what you are. Like, I can be an infiltrator and have stealth, but I can also have like a biotic pull and throw. So like,
You can cross-class a little bit.
You can be what you want to be in this one.
So like, you could stealth, pop up, dodge over here, get behind cover, nobody knows where you're at, pull a guy, and then just detonate him and throw him away, or he'll just float up while you push somebody else or whatever.
That sounds cool.
It's a lot of fun.
So what's the dialogue like without the Paragon and Renegade?
It's just like emotion choices, like it was in Dragon Age Inquisition, but it's a little more clear what you're going to say. But it's still like, this is the emotional response, this is the professional response, or like this is the response that's like, I'm thinking like I need more information, or this is a response like I don't fucking care. Like,
So we talked earlier about
I don't give a fuck.
the fact that like making those choices previously in Mass Effect doesn't actually fucking matter, right? Can you tell now by the 5 hours that you played if it does or not?
Not at all.
You can't tell?
No.
Okay.
I mean, the first 4 hours is like, it's probably 30 to 40% tutorial, like the first planet, and then teaching you how to like navigate around the world and how to switch guns and shit like that. I mean, it takes a while to start to open up. But once you actually get into it, it's more open world, kind of like Mass Effect 1 was when you go on a planet, except when you use your rover, you're actually going 2 places. Like, you're not just going to like...
Yeah, right. It's not just
I'm going to
empty,
mine this thing. It's
world,
like you're going to do specific... It's kind of open, and actually that's kind of like Dragon Age 2, where you'd have each section, but then you'd move around each section and do the quest for that section.
Yeah.
Right.
Except now the sections are planets.
Yeah.
Okay.
From what I've gathered, as far as like your decision making and whatnot, and how much they play a role. So essentially, you've got the Nexus is like the mothership, and you've got all these people that are in cryo. And when you get to a new planet, you can put up an outpost. But there's also other people that are living on this planet now, like Krogans and Turians and all the other races that have come from the Milky Way. So you've got to work with the Krogans to, figure out what humanity's plan is going to be on this planet, whether you're going to make an outpost, and if they don't like you, they're going to tell you to piss off, or you got to play nice and work together. And then you decide, am I going to put military, scientific, or am I going to put
miners?
merchants or just like a residency, and then depending on the choices you make, you'll have people that are on the Nexus like, why aren't you waking up my family yet? Like, we need to wake up our families. You know, they're still in cryo, and then they get pissed at you. So there's a lot of
bitching.
It is interesting because
Maintenance.
they sent the Nexus to like, so they send the Nexus, which is sort of like the Citadel, but it doesn't have a lot of stuff on it. Like, they sort of send it there, and then they started building it ahead of everybody else going there. So then everybody else gets into their arcs, and each arc is a different race. So there's a human arc, and a Turian arc, and a Krogan arc, and all that stuff. Exactly.
yes.
So like when you first get there, the Nexus isn't really built yet, and it's been 600 years you've been in travel from the Milky Way to Andromeda. And so everyone's kind of just like, we don't really know what's going on, and it's like the other arcs haven't gotten here yet, and we're really not sure why, and like all this other sort of interference stuff. And it's kind of interesting how it's playing out, because like it's not like everybody arrived and they're like, okay, let's make a world for ourselves. It's like the humans showed up and like some shit went wrong, and now nobody knows where anybody is, or like what if the planets are viable, and there's like all these little splintered groups of like people that evacuated a ship that came in that just happened to be on a planet you land on and stuff like that. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
So this week we do have to wrap up fairly early. So last thoughts in playing the game for 5 hours, doing a little bit of research. You guys recommend it? Sounds pretty good.
I don't know yet.
You know?
I can't really say one way or the other because I've already downloaded that on the Xbox One. So we are past the breaking point for me.
So we'll come back to it then.
Yeah, we'll get back to my
purchase was
my
worth it.
actual review. Yes.
The only problem I've had with it so far, and this will be real quick, is that the exploration looks really cool, but you don't really gain anything from it. So like when you're at a planet and you're going to another planet, it will show you the view of what you'd be looking at if you're looking out of the front of the ship as it turns, finds its bearing, and then travels to the next thing, and like stars will be flying by and shit. It looks fucking awesome. Like I was watching last night, just like, oh my God.
Yeah, I did read about that. Like you travel in real time, essentially.
Beautiful. I mean, just super pretty. So anyway, once you get there, then it's like it'll either say anomaly detected or nothing. And if it says nothing, there's nothing there.
And you have to keep
just
going
went.
somewhere
You
else.
just went there to be like, I'm adding percentage to my galaxy map or whatever. And if
still
there,
fun, though.
But if there is something there, then you scan it and you send a probe, and it just gives you resources. That's the only thing I've found other than the main planet, which has the quests on it. Every other planet I went to, and I probably went to 15, it was either they had nothing or they had minerals.
And you
It was
didn't
the
ever
only-
go and land on any of those.
No, there was never at any point where I set a probe and it said, here's a quest, or like you can land on the world.
You think
I'm
you might have been
assuming-
blocked from any of
I'm
that?
assuming it's because of the trial, but that's why I'm still kind of on the fence, because like if all it is just flying around and getting minerals, then that kind of sucks.
It should all change.
Yeah, you should be able to land on, because you could land on like at least one or two in each system on ME1, but there was still a lot of probing and scanning.
Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at that when you guys have a closer
Absolutely.
view of
Well,
plans.
yeah,
I'm still
maybe we'll get some
excited.
gameplay.
I'm still
next,
super
well,
pumped.
next week we're gonna both have owned
Yeah.
it for most of a week, so
Right.
And then played it. Yeah.
and I'll probably end up pre-ordering it.
All right.
Get some multiplayer action in.
Cool.
Stay tuned for next week's podcast. And be sure to check out our website and our Patreon. Outside of that, see you later, nerds.
Bye.